Hi there, my name is Jim and I'm going to be talking about two things today. One is we're going to be filling in a gap between insulation. So right here you see two pieces of pink insulation and we're going to be filling in this gap and another little gap up here that because I'm using leftover pieces of insulation, there's going to be a gap. So we need to fill in these pieces or these gaps because otherwise we're going to get air coming in because air is going to follow, air is going to go through every crack and gap. So we want to fill that in. So what are we going to fill it with? Well, we're going to fill it with paper and glue. And any kind of paper will do. Some paper is a little better than others, but first let's talk about the glue. All right, so I use this brand. I'm not telling you have to use this brand. Any brand will do. This brand is just one that I use and I like it, so I use it. It's pretty thick. It's called Titebond General Purpose. You actually have to ask for it when you're at the store, and it is pretty thick. So we'll get it up to about there. And then we're going to mix it with water at about a 50-50 mixture. And we'll just mixy. And a little more. Make sure it's nice and viscous. Oh, it looks good. Ooh, no, not gonna do that. All right, don't drink your glue. What are you gonna fill it with if you drink all your glue? Okay, so then you just take some paper and you dip it in to your mixture. I'll just leave this over here. And you shove it in the crack. And it doesn't matter, we're gonna make a huge mess here today, so we're just gonna be messy, don't worry about it. Just shove it in there until you can't shove any more in there. Literally, tissue paper will work. I'm showing you that now by using tissue paper. I said paper towel is good too, and it certainly is. I like breaking up my paper towel a little bit, just ripping it up so you get little strips of it. And we dip that in too. You'll see why I don't care about all these drips in just a few minutes, because we're actually going to do something with that. You don't even have to dip all of the paper in the glue. You can do it a couple of different ways. See, if you need some more glue, you could just add some this way. And there's so much glue that's there already that you probably don't need much more anyway. All right, so we keep filling these holes, or this crack, I should say. It's not really a crack, I guess. It's just a gap. We'll fill that in. And we'll try some newspaper over here in just a minute. So I got big fingers that I'm just ripping up my paper. Rippy rip. All right. Get some more. This in there. Can't even push it in, so use this. What I was hoping this would do is push this up a little bit, but that's not happening, so that's fine. We just keep pushing it into the gap. Put this in the corner. Way up in here in the corner. And yes, this is going to make a mess. But it's completely fine. Back to some tissue paper. Mix it in with some other paper. That's how much it matters. All right, so we filled this gap in pretty well. Maybe a little more. Looking pretty good. We have something else that we're going to do that will cover some of this as well, but I'm still going to put some more in this bottom part because you got a little gappy gap over here too. So now we move on. All right, let's see here. So the second part that we're going to deal with is, okay, so you may notice that this looks maybe like it's not completely full. It is mostly full. I can see one spot there that needs a little more. We need that as full as we can stand it. So use some more paper. This is a piece of a map. And what we're going to do with this is we're going to stick that right in there. And we're going to make this be the background of this whole space here. And it's going to do a couple things. One is it's going to be pretty. You can see the map instead of see pink insulation, which I think is a good thing. And then aside from that, we also, it fills in, covers the gap and fills in a little bit more of the gap in the corner, and actually prevents air from getting in because of the glue and the water. And so what we're going to do here is we're going to fully paint this back part so that, including the top, because we have a little bit that's going to go up there as well. And we're just paint. Now, some of you may be very concerned about the fact that I'm using a map. And you may think that maps are important and they need to be kept. And if that's true, and you have a map that you think is really important, guess what? Don't use that map. Use a map that you don't care that much about. And if you say, hey, maps are important, and we're running out of maps, I just want to tell you that every single car from at least the 1920s all the way through to maps that I used were from 2012, 2013. People, you probably still can get maps if you if you drive through a state and you stop at a rest area. There's probably still some maps there. Although I venture to guess that several states, if not the majority of states, have stopped giving away maps. But hey, there's still lots of people who would prefer to use the old-fashioned ways. And that's totally all right. And so what we're doing here is we are taking this upper part. And remember, we're only putting the glue on the back, by the way. We're not putting the glue on the face yet, but we will. If you put it on the face too soon, there are problems. So you just put it on the back at first, and then we'll worry about the rest in a few minutes. All right, so getting this nice. There are wrinkles, there's no question. I tore it. What am I gonna do? Guess what? I'm gonna fix it, and I'll show you how. So I didn't do that on purpose. I just know that this happens all the time when you're doing this kind of stuff. A lot of people call this papier-mache or Mod Podge, and Mod Podge is actually the brand of stuff that you can use, and I'm telling you, you can buy it a lot cheaper if you buy it in bulk, and it's mostly just glue. And a lot of people say that the matte finish is better, and depending on what you're using it for, I'm not going to disagree, but the difference for me is I cannot see very much difference at all in this particular product related to matte, or it's not very shiny, in other words, when it's done. But anyway, so I didn't put any glue on the bottom, so we're going to do that next. Actually, I don't have any glue on this. I'm just pushing it down with a brush. It was previously wet, so there's a little bit of glue, but I'm not really putting any glue on it per se. Now this has gotten some glue on it already, and that's fine. We're just going to put some more glue on the bottom to secure this whole ledge area, or secure the bottom of the map to the ledge area. I want to also say that I like to use maps that are from cities, like this one, Springfield, Illinois. I like to use maps from cities rather than using maps from states for this particular purpose. But a map from a state works. I have several that I've done. Maps of the United States work. Other states, other countries, it's completely fine. Whatever kind of map you want to use is fine to use, and it'll look good. The thing is that a map with a river in it that is of a city, I find to be the most appealing looking. But again, you can do it any way that you'd like. Now we have this little space here in the front. Some of it's going to show. Actually, I have trim now that I'm going to put over this, similar to this here. So the trim isn't on there now, but I will eventually have that on, and it'll cover that front part up so you won't even see it. So all that I'm doing here is just really to secure the map to the surface rather than for the look that it gives. All right, we're getting somewhere. I see several rips happening. Oh no, what are we gonna do about the rips? Well, that's pretty easy. Something else that's interesting is that there are a bunch of wrinkles. So what are we doing about the wrinkles? Well, we don't really care because honestly, they'll heal themselves. I don't understand how that works, but they tend to heal themselves. All right, so now I'm putting a light coat of this stuff right over the top. I'm starting at the top so that I don't get myself wet while I'm going down. Some of these wrinkles may be here when it's completely dry, but from previous experience, I can tell you that a lot of these wrinkles will be gone. We have things we need to fix. Like this whole edge on the corner doesn't have anything on it. So what are we going to do about that? Where's my knife? This part I'm cutting out. You will never see this unless I get crazy and leave it in. And now I'm singing to you. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Yes. I actually can sing a little bit, but that was terrible. But that's fine, I don't mind, because you'll judge me either way, so just we'll have some fun. Okay, so we're gonna put this in the corner here like so, even though, you know, some of you might even notice this. It's sideways. What am I gonna do? It's sideways. I don't care. I don't care that it's sideways. Because you'll hardly notice it. Alright, so we need... There's a gap there. Another kind of gap. It's a gap between the paper. I'm slipping it right in between the pieces of wood because I put the trim on already. So I want to try and get that into that gap so that when I need it to be strong. If I get it wet, it won't work as well. Ah. You see what I did there? I took a little breath before I got too upset about this. I took a little breath. Take a little breath. Get less upset. Take a little breath, you little son of a bitch. The trick anyway. Okay, so the trick is basically this. See this? I'm gonna cut it. And then I have less of it, and this piece went in. As it's going in. See that? See, I like to show you that the world is not perfect. And that's fine. Imperfection is where it's at. Literally. So, imperfection. Then we take this other little imperfect piece that we actually can put correctly if we want. And we overlap it. It fits right in there. See that? Less pain, more gain. Okay, there. Now we're gonna get it wet. Back part anyway. I'm gonna put that glue on there. Just on the wood on this side. And then we're gonna fold this to that line, get up there, and go right over everything. Do the same thing here, except we're gonna add a little bit more glue because remember, this is a different piece. Okay. Don't let it get out of that gap. There. All right, now we have this in here, and now we're going to cover the outside with a little bit of glue. So we still have some problems here. Got a little bit of piece there that we need to fill in. So I'll just sit there and say, oh, guess what? It's yellow, yellow, yellow. And I'll take a little yellow. I just put some on my finger. We'll put it in the right place so we can cover up that line. And we'll get that right where we want it. Say, oh, but I can see it. You won't notice it very much in the long run. And one advantage of multiple layers is it gives it a little bit more strength. So that's fine. It's all wet and on there and good, and you can see some wrinkles, but that's fine. Now we go to the other corner, where I am. Hey! And then we're gonna fix some other gaps. We have some more yellow. We need to put some right there. And we need to put something here. Look at that. I can sing during the parts that we're going to cover with other things. And la la la. So I don't hear very well, but I can still sing a little bit. I don't understand that at all. I'm not a science major. I don't understand acoustics or auditory sciences, but I do know that that is true. That for me anyway, I can sing a little bit, even though I can't hear very well. Sometimes people think that I'm not telling the truth about being hard of hearing. I have words for people like that, but I'm too nice to use them for you. All right, so we have the same problem over here with this gap that we were talking about earlier, but I'm a little concerned because if I need to make sure I have this measurement right. Right now you can see a line there, but you won't see that for very much longer. Are we having fun yet? Some of you be like, why in the world would I ever do this? But hey, maps in a garage isn't that hard to understand. Nope. Nope. Okay. This is not perfect. If you want perfection, this is not going to be perfect. Some of the stuff I do is pretty good. But the whole point of Mod Podge is that imperfection is perfection. The whole point of this kind of style of doing stuff is you don't really need to worry about it being perfect. Okay, so we need a little bit more yellow. It's interesting because there is pink in here. So if you happen to develop a terrible situation, now this looks completely discolored, right? Like it doesn't match at all. But in reality, this color yellow is that, and when it dries, you'll be able to see that. I don't want to put too much of that there. You know what? I don't care too much because guess what's going to be there? A whole bunch of stuff, like on all the rest of my shelves. So that's the other trick here, that you're not going to actually see a lot of this. It's covered and it looks nice, but you won't actually see a ton of it. It's kind of amazing how it blends in. Even for me, I'm sitting here looking at it and I'm like, wow, that's pretty awesome. Blendy blend. Okay, so you get the idea. That's what it's going to look like. And you know, the glue comes right off your fingers, like so. Thanks, and we'll see you on the next one. Where's my knife?